Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Beautiful Boy. Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet. We've seen him in a lot of different things. He's a good young actor. I like him. And Steve Carell, of course, everybody knows from everything that he's done. Starting off with The Office, of course. But this movie is basically, it's about drug addiction, about the survival of drug addiction, relapsing in drug addiction, recovering, and the whole family being involved. That's all I really know about it, except for that it's based off of best-selling memoirs from a father and son. So that should be pretty interesting. So I'm assuming this is based on a true story, and the father and son, two great actors. IMDb had it at a 7.3, I want to say. Let me get 7.3, and 9,152 people made it that 7.3. So should be pretty good. I'm going to check it out here and let you know, tell you what it's really about, tell you what I'm thinking, and check in from time to time if anything interesting happens and give you my final thoughts. So stick around, I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Beautiful Boy. We're at the 47-minute 22-second mark. And like I read, it's kind of like, Steve Carell is the father, remarried, but has a son from a different woman who they live far apart, whatever. Timothée Chalamet plays his son, and phenomenal actor, right? Enough to watch this movie at least 47 minutes through. He's outstanding, I think. I've seen him in a couple of different things, and I think he's one of the most talented actors. I don't know. Anyway, I'll get off my man crush on him, but phenomenal. But he's the son who becomes addicted to meth. So he, experiments in a lot of different drugs, but then gets addicted to that. It starts off the movie with Steve Carell meeting with the doctor, who is played by Timothy Hutton. Small role, but that's who it is. And he's asking him questions, and then it flashes back to a year prior and shows basically the start of his addiction, essentially. And then everything that they've done in order to try and rid him of his addiction, getting him into rehab and things like that, and his relapses and stuff like that. And I think the basis of the story revolves around the relationship between the father and son. They're illustrating it pretty well, that they, were best friends as they were growing up. So it's even harder on Steve Carell's character that his son is now, being addicted to drugs, and he can't do anything to save him. So that's where we are now. It has caught back up to that year, and we're seeing it as it moves forward. And I don't want to give you any additional details on that. That's really what it's all about. Maybe you already knew that, maybe you didn't, but very good. And it's interesting, for those of you who don't know, I'm expecting a third child. I have two little girls, and the third one's going to be a boy. So it's kind of, I know this is a little bit more of the kid. Timothy's character is actually 18 years old, so it's a little bit down the line for me, but, kind of hits home for anybody who has kids at all. It doesn't have to be a boy, but, somebody you raise that long, and you think you know them inside and out, and then, something like this happens. So far, really good. Steve Carell's good. You always see him in a comedic role, and there's been some movies where he plays a more serious role, and that's what he's in here. So it's not bad. He's not bad at it. It's just hard to, get him out of anything that he's not funny in. But he's doing good. But the younger actor is phenomenal. Anyway, enough about that. Let me get back into it. It is a 2-hour-long movie, but so far so good, because I also believe, like I said, it's based on a true story. So if I wanted to stop it here, even though we have a long way to go, there might be something interesting, and if there is, I'll check back in. If not, I'll meet you at the credits and give you my final thoughts. But so far so good. Alright, see ya. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of A Beautiful Boy, or Beautiful Boy, I don't think there's an A in front of it, but a very good movie, great movie. Not an easy watch, obviously. It's painful to see somebody go through all of the things that I was highlighting before. The ups and downs, and a lot of downs in addiction and things like this. And this is based on a true story, as I had mentioned. I thought it was. It was based on their memoirs, so yes, it was. And I believe it was the father who wrote them, but he might have co-wrote them with the son as well. A couple of things I wanted to mention that were throughout the plot line before I get into my final opinion. But so the kid was very successful in high school. He was he applied to 6 schools, got into 6 colleges, that kind of thing. So he had everything going for him in that sense. The other thing that his dad, like I said, was doing a lot of research. He met with the doctor, learning about how it impacts your brain, these types of drugs. So I thought that was interesting that it comes out in this movie on, you know, the overall impact and the things that it can do. But he was studying it so much that he actually even went and tried it to see the effect on it. So nothing more than that that goes on. A little bit of a funny, I think, in a sense. Amy Scott, she was Holly on The Office. She plays his ex-wife in this. So I thought that was kind of neat because they were boyfriend girlfriend on The Office for a while. So there's some things I just want to throw out there. But again, a phenomenal movie, great acting. And Steve Carell does pick it up. I mean, he comes. I had said I'd seen him in other serious films before, but and he really did a good job in this one. And of course, the young actor Timothée was phenomenal in this movie. One of the other things that I really liked about this movie, which I think is different, and I didn't pick it up right away, but you will if you watch this review ahead of time. You know, every movie has a soundtrack, but the soundtrack in this, was used so effectively. It made every scene more intense. That's usually the purpose of the soundtrack, is to intensify the situation, whatever it is. But this, well, like the different, not only did they use song, for certain scenes, and they use different types of music that you would think, hey, maybe this isn't go, but it works well with what's going on in the scene. But not only did they use music, but they also use like different sounds at certain situations. And they did it a little bit louder than what you're normally used to. At least this is what I got from it. Like I said, sometimes the soundtrack's in the background and you don't even know it's there. It changes your emotion about what you're seeing on the film, but you don't hear it. Here in this film, it's so noticeable. And in a good way, not in a bad way, not like annoying, but it really impacts what's going on and intensifies the entire scene. So I thought that was pretty neat. But otherwise, you can kind of tell where a movie like this is going to go with drug use. There's many movies out there. This one's, again, based on a true story and well acted. Good soundtrack, well acted, definitely worth seeing. So if you haven't already, check it out. I think it's free for Amazon Prime members. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, go ahead and, if you have time, if this is what you're into, not a really good, feel-good story. So you have to be in the mood for it, so prepare yourself. But definitely check it out. It's one of those films you'll be happy you saw. And if you do, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.